The Wild West, a land of adventure, lawlessness, and larger-than-life characters. But how much of what we know is fact and how much is pure myth? In this video, we're separating the myths from reality in the untamed frontier of the American West. Segment 1, Introduction to the Wild West. The Wild West, also known as the Old West, typically refers to the period following the Civil War and ending around 1900. This era is often romanticized in books, movies, and television shows, creating a legendary image that captures the imagination. But what was life really like during this time? The Wild West was characterized by rapid expansion, as settlers moved westward in search of new opportunities. This period saw the construction of railroads, the establishment of new towns, and significant conflicts with Native American tribes. It was a time of great change, marked by both progress and hardship. Segment 2, The Myth of the Cowboy. Myth number 1, the cowboy as a lone, heroic figure. The reality is, cowboys were often low-paid laborers working long, grueling hours on cattle drives. They were essential to the cattle industry, but their lives were far from glamorous. Cowboys spent most of their time herding cattle, repairing fences, and dealing with the harsh elements. They faced dangers from both the environment and outlaws, but their daily routines were largely mundane and exhausting. The image of the cowboy has been greatly romanticized. In reality, cowboys faced harsh conditions, dangerous work, and little pay. They were more akin to modern-day ranch workers than the gunslinging heroes we see in movies. Many cowboys were also young men, often in their teens or early 20s, seeking adventure and a way to earn a living. While the cowboy image is iconic, it's important to remember the diverse backgrounds of these men. Cowboys included African Americans, Native Americans, and Mexican vaqueros, all contributing to the unique culture of the American West. Segment 3, Gunfights and Outlaws. Myth number 2, the prevalence of gunfights. While Hollywood loves to depict towns where gunfights were a daily occurrence, the truth is that most frontier towns had strict gun control laws to maintain order. Gunfights did happen, but they were rare. Towns had laws against carrying firearms to prevent violence. The legendary shootout at the OK Corral, for instance, was an exception rather than the rule. The real Wild West was a place where law and order were often enforced by local sheriffs and marshals, who worked to keep the peace. Many towns had ordinances requiring visitors to check their guns at the sheriff's office upon arrival. Outlaws did exist, but their exploits were often exaggerated. Figures like Billy the Kid and Jesse James became legendary, but their actual lives were far more complex and less glamorous than popular culture suggests. Segment 4, The Role of Women. Myth number 3, women were only school teachers or saloon girls. In reality, women in the Wild West played diverse and critical roles. They were homesteaders, ranchers, business owners, and even outlaws. Women contributed significantly to the development of Western communities. They managed households, cared for children, and often took on work typically done by men. Women like Calamity Jane and Annie Oakley became famous for their skills and adventurous spirits. Women were instrumental in the development of the West. They took on many roles and responsibilities, from running businesses to managing farms and raising families. Some even became famous outlaws or sharpshooters. Women also played a crucial role in establishing social structures and communities, founding schools, churches, and other institutions that helped shape the fabric of Western society. Segment 5, Native American Relations. Myth number 4, constant battles between settlers and Native Americans. While there were certainly conflicts, there were also periods of trade, negotiation, and cooperation. The relationship between settlers and Native Americans was complex. While there were many tragic conflicts, there were also instances of peaceful coexistence and mutual benefit. The reality is that Native American tribes were diverse, each with its own culture, language, and history. Some tribes chose to resist encroachment on their lands, while others sought alliances or adapted to new circumstances. Unfortunately, many Native American communities suffered greatly due to broken treaties, forced relocations, and violent conflicts. Understanding these nuanced interactions helps us appreciate the full scope of Western expansion. Segment 6, The Gold Rush. Myth number 5. Striking it rich overnight. The gold rush of 1849 brought many to the West with dreams of quick fortune. However, the reality was that few struck it rich, and many faced difficult and dangerous conditions. While some did find fortune, most miners worked long hours with little reward. The gold rush did, however, spur significant migration and economic development in the region. Miners often lived in rough, makeshift camps and faced harsh conditions, including disease, accidents, and conflict. The influx of people also led to the rapid growth of towns and cities, forever changing the landscape of the American West. The gold rush also had significant impacts on the environment and Native American populations, leading to displacement and resource depletion. Conclusion: the Wild West was a complex and multifaceted period in American history, filled with both hardship and opportunity. By separating myth from reality, we gain a deeper understanding of this legendary era. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the myths and realities of the Wild West. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating historical insights.